Hi, and welcome to Mechanical Keyboards Live. I'm your host, skiwithpete. What's going on, everybody? What chaos! Okay, so there was supposed to be camera 2. There's no camera 2. That didn't work out. The toilet in my house is now flushing, which I know you guys are excited to hear. What else failed in the last few minutes? The video that I wanted to upload of the ski trip, fail. What else is going on? That's about it. Let's start here. Oh, I was going to show off the new RGB PCB from One Up Keyboards. Here it is. Check it out. Booyah. Oh, this cable's too short. Well, that's just another of the ongoing. This cable's way too short. You can't. That's the upside down. Normally it would go this way around, but when I turn it this way around, you notice it doesn't fit on the screen. Here, what if I hold it up this? No, it's still. Look, Steph. Look, it just can't quite make it onto screen. No, this is.
Use that other plug. You have
whatever disaster.
You have another USB.
Where? Here? This one.
The sticky, the fuzzy one.
Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and look, we can do it this way too. Yes. New Underglow PCB available at oneupkeyboards.com. It's the same price as the GH60, so you might as well get it. Unless you have a fully enclosed aluminum base, you might as well just get this one. That's where we're starting. I'm planning to do a giveaway this month, or at least I was, but there's another series of colossal failures that have occurred. We were supposed to have moved into the new house or have closed the new location, January 27th. And so we're still here. We still got the metal desk. We're still at 243 of 450. But let me spend some time and say hello to some people. Anchor Beta's in the house. Jesper Lundqvist. Rezi is here. John Doe is here. Victor Galicia is here. What's going on? Shad Vandenhall, Alex Shore, Nice and Creamy's up in the house. What's going on? Nice and Creamy. Nice and Creamy is exactly right about this new PCB. The new PCB is USB Mini. The reason it's USB Mini is that the case support isn't great for USB-C. So I know everybody wants USB-C, and we're definitely moving towards it, but the cases need to be changed in order to get there. And look, if you want to make a USB-C to USB Mini cable, it's no big deal. You can totally make one of those. What is going on, everybody? NGB. We're still talking about this thing because people are asking questions about it. I guess you guys didn't see the news release. Just before I remove the 4K thing that's over here, the 4K thing, don't forget today's live stream is in full 4K, so you guys can check that out. Of course you can. I'm just showing this off. There were some more questions. Does it run QMK? Currently, you can only do it via Keyby firmware. There's a JSON to download, but of course, once you've uploaded the JSON, you can download the QMK from there. We're working on getting an official QMK support for this, along with the awesome people over at QMK. Specifically, I don't know why I've forgotten his name. It's the sort of day that I'm having. The guy behind the plank. Why have I forgotten his name? Jack Humbert. We're going to be talking to Jack soon about... Jack, I'm sorry, man. If you're watching this, just having a bad day, man. Sometimes people have bad days. So all this is coming. This is available now if you want the early release, or you can wait until the QMK is out, or you can just use KB firmware and then download your own QMK. And heck, you could even help write it if you wanted. This thing it's great. It of course uses the Atmel Atmega 32U4, but this stream is not about that. This is about this build that I'm about to get to. Not only do I feel like I'm talking fast, but let's remember that I'm under a strict deadline here. The football game starts...
Not the football game.
What?
It's not just it's...
I know. I work in advertising, and you're not allowed to say the word unless you've paid all the money in order to be able to say the word.
There you go.
So we call it the big game. In fact, it's a fun little game as you're watching tonight. As you're watching the big game tonight. Notice how many times people don't say what it is, but instead refer to it as the big game, the big show, there's all sorts of different. Even the superb owl is a whole thing that was created simply because you cannot say the word. I'm just not saying it because it's funny, but actually, I don't know what the YouTube rules are on it. Here's an interesting thing about the YouTube rules. Before I wore the Ski with Pete hat, not available in any stores. Before I did, I used to wear a branded hat, and I found out that making reference to any brands or remember I had that I Heart NY sticker on the desk. Making reference to any of that could actually make these streams break advertising laws, which I don't want them to. But of course, this is more like a news show. It's more like an editorial. I'm not trying to take advantage of the superb owl. So I can totally say Super Bowl and it doesn't really make a difference. But notice tonight in the commercials who did and who didn't. If they do say it, it's because they've paid to be a title sponsor of the NFL and of the Super Bowl. And if they don't say it, it's because they just paid for the ad spot and they had to call it the big game. There was a guy called P with Skeet shitposting on Anthony Oi's stream about one-up keyboards. It was pretty funny. It sounds hilarious. Anthony, the guy who doesn't know how to make a stab not rattle. I'm sure his stream was amazing. I'm sure the guy was super funny. People make fun of me because Anthony can't make his stabs not rattle. It's a weird world that we live in, but alas, he puts band-aids at the bottom of them. And can I just say that doing anything to the bottom of the stab, look, you see, doing anything to the bottom of the stab, raising it any, will mean that you don't get it to completely move. Do you see what I'm saying? If you add a Band-Aid or something in there, just for the sake of demonstration, instead of a Band-Aid, I'm going to put this piece of wood here. Now you notice when I put the piece, I'm making myself big. Notice when you put this piece of wood here that my hand doesn't get as close to my hand as it used to. Whatever. These people swear that they know tons about building keyboards. What can I do? I can do nothing except build a keyboard, and that's exactly what I'm about to do. This is the carbon fiber one-up keyboard with the Gone Nerd PCB carbon fiber, real carbon fiber plates. These are real carbon fiber plates. This is going to use Gateron greens. We've got some black stabilizers there. This has the glass fiber middle. And of course, today I'm using these extremely rattly black stabilizers. Let's just get a little action cam of them here. Listen to them rattle. That's right, they're super rattly stabs right here at one-up keyboards. Moving right along. Yeah, it's funny. I don't mind. I'm not against humor. What I'm against is people who do things seriously and are crazy. Today, by the way, I bought an extra huge Crytox. Check out how huge this Crytox is. It's huge. Look at the size of this thing. I was told that if I bought one of these small tubes, it would last me for life. And I guess for life isn't necessarily true of somebody who builds keyboards as often as I do. There's still a little bit left in here, and I will use the last of it, but this is the old tube. This is the new tube. Okay. Let me show you. Let me show you how to build a stab real quick. Guys, here's a little tip for you, not just now, but also in life. If you have something that rattles, put some lube on it. This works especially well in things like cars and other things that rattle. If you haven't seen this before, all I do is put a little dollop in there. Oh, hold on. Action cam. Just going to put a little dollop in here like this. You can see this. I'm going to call them Stab Wars. Stab Wars! Well, gee, I find these unlubricated stabs to be super rattly, whereas these super lubed stabs are not rattly. Yeah. Why do you not use genuine cherry stabs? That's a good question. When I started building keyboards 2 and a bit years ago, you couldn't get cherry stabs reliably without building your own wires because it was too much of a pain in the ass to make my own wires. We even got wire benders and everything sorted for it. Because that was such a pain in the butt and nobody actually wanted to do it, I ended up contacting some manufacturers about these stabilizers and about how they could be improved. And so that's why I went with them. And to my knowledge, the only person in the world who likes to pay $30 for their stabilizer and then lube it anyways is a crazy man. But that's just my ongoing spat and whatever. People flame me in groups because of my stabilizer choice. Cool. And I will make these not rattly later. But just remember, there are two sides to the stabilizer. There's the hotel side and the back side. Remember, this goes in the front side or the hotel side. It goes in there like that. One also goes like this. Exactly, Creamy. I just read your thing. You just want the stabs to not be a concern. That's all you want. You don't really give a smack for anything else. Look, see these? Now I've lubricated that thing. You want them to not be rattly. There's two things you can do. One, you flip them to the back. You can do this once they're already on the board. You can actually build the board and then add lube here, but you can add lube in behind there, and that'll get rid of some of the some of the crackle. There you go. That'll get rid of some of it. But there's still a little bit from the sides. So you're crazy enough you want to lube the sides. You totally can. But what I like to do is get the paintbrush on that as well. So what I'll do is I'll just squirt a little on the side here. Lift it up. Lift it up just like that. And then get the paintbrush involved. And this side too. And I'll do the other one. Do you want me to do it right by the microphone, guys? Shad Vandenhall, the Band-Aid mod, no, I don't do, because what that does is it impedes the bottom of the switch from striking the bottom. Anything that decreases the amount of travel that these has, decreases the amount of travel that your switch has. So no, I don't ever do that. And again, people joke about it. Oh, Pete doesn't know how to Band-Aid mod his thing. No, I know how to do it. Just don't do it, because to me, these things should have completely free travel. Look, you don't Band-Aid mod a co-star stab, do you? No, whatever. But Pete, he's so old school. He's been building keyboards for like 2 years. He's crazy. He doesn't know what the kids like these days. No, shut up. This is how you lube stab. You want to fill the back, you can fill the back. Here's how you fill the back, just like this. Get the paintbrush again. Anchorbait, as far as I know, the stabs have a tiny gap between the stab and the PCB. They don't. You can hear it hit. The Band-Aid is meant to fill the gap and add a cushion. Why do you want a cushion? The cushion resolves the harsh PCB sound. Well, there's no cushion at the bottom of your switch hitting the bottom of its little cage. I don't understand. You want that rich, thocky noise. I don't know why you would try to dampen it in any way. Again, I'm just confused. And because those guys hang out with those guys, they all think that what they say is true. Which is fine by me. Everybody can do their own thing. I don't really mind. That is not a rattly stab. I'm doing it right by the microphone. That is not a rattly stab. Bastards. You want to pay an extra $3 for your stabs? You want to pay an extra $20 for your stabs? Go for it. I don't care. I'm not against it. Just stop trash bagging other people's stuff. You can spend as much on stabs as you want. hotel side. Put it in the basement, the ground floor. Whoa, a little too far. I know, you guys just do it for the drama. You like the drama. It's okay. I don't mind the drama. Band-Aid mod helps when you're having silent switches. Oh, yeah, okay. If you have silent switches and you want it to be silenced, there's actually stabilizers that come with little spring legs on the bottom of it that are meant to help with that. I personally don't use them, but I know that that's what they're there for. I clip them off because I like a thocky sounding keyboard, but I have made silent keyboards before. To be honest, I'm not. I have one at work. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I understand that some people need to have that. Now, again, I'm on a time limit here. I'm trying to make this keyboard before the start of the Super Bowl. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do that. Oh, this one, it's got a little bit of a rattle. Damn. Probably need a little more of the side lube here. When you say genuine cherry, what exactly do you mean? Do you mean GMK? The ones that were built in Germany? The ones that were built in Germany, like I say, came without wires for the longest time. I've heard recently that the ones you get from China that are called cherry, which aren't GMK, which are cherry, do come with wires. But again, I don't know anything of it. You look at Co-Star stabs, and Co-Star stabs don't have any padding at the bottom of them. It's just a piece of plastic that travels across. Co-Star stabs don't actually prevent any lateral movement. They only prevent front to back movement, which is an interesting thing, especially given how the rise of the Band-Aid mod. I'm just going to go wash the little bit of lube that I have still on my fingers off. I thought that would be the last of this Cry Talks, but I still have a little bit left, so I'll have to save the giant tube for next time. Okay, just going to wash my fingers off, and then I'll be right back. What time is it? 54. I have 1 hour. T-minus 1 hour. Here we go. All right, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. There are 32 people currently watching and only 13 likes. If you haven't already, could you please go ahead and smash that like button now? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this without the bottom. Just going to take the bottom. There's the 3 pieces with real carbon fiber. Real carbon fiber. You want to take this. You want to put that there. But first, you want to put this underneath it. Now, the reason I like to do this with this middle layer, or if I didn't have the middle layer where I'd put the standoffs in place, is just when I push these first 4 switches in, I nearly did it without the stabs. What am I doing? Rushing. That's what I'm doing. That noise you can hear, that's actually Steph with the paper. Steph, hold on 1 second. Just proving a point, that's all. Just proving a point ad nauseum. Whoops. As you guys know, the toes go into the big holes, the heels go into the small holes. You want to make sure that they're flat and level. Oh, I missed that one. It's real bad, that one. Let me show you what happened here. How badly I missed it. Do you see this? Can you see that? Do you see the big space underneath it? I'm going to pull out some tweezers so you can see that. You see this mistake? This mistake would make for a terrible sounding stabilizer. See that? That shouldn't be like that. So to redo it, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push up from the bottom here. You just got to kind of pinch and push up. There we go. Now that's up. What I'm going to do is reinsert the toe and then push down the heel. You know, I did it again. Did it again to that one. That one you can see, look, it's not in line here. You see that? So what I got to do, push this out. There we go. Now that all the stabs are in place, let's move on to the first 4 switches. So these first 4, I just want to do the 4 corners, and you'll see they won't properly go into the board underneath. I'll have to switch that over. And I'm choosing, oh, I'm sorry, I thought I was overhead. I'm choosing this left shift one here. The reason I'm choosing that is because I screwed that up bad. Okay, here's the mistake that I made. Is that right? Yeah, the switches should be facing north. And I've gone and pushed 2 in facing south. I don't know, I guess I'm just not paying attention. Don't clip switches. You won't believe what I got here. I got some plate mounts. Of course, I love clipping switches because I don't like fighting against my switches. For those of you who know me really well. Like Anchorbait does. Man. Just bent this first pin. Look at that. Just bent it. Ew, 3-pin. Ew. No, I know. We've switched over entirely to 5-pin on the website.
I need to update that.
Oh, it needs to be updated. The greens are now available but I had some greens left over that were 3-pin. And because I'm building it, I was like, yes! Hell yeah! Build the 3-pin. For those of you who've never seen a keyboard be built before, this probably isn't the best one to watch first. God, I've bent it again. Yeah, because I'm just moving quick here because I'm trying to get... There we go. Okay. Push them down, push them down. If you haven't already press like now because we're about to turn on the solder cam. Oh, man. What is going on?
Maybe.
I just pushed on this switch and pushed it right out. Maybe I won't get to the solder cam that quickly. Okay. Okay. Let's try this now. All right. Just got to get my exhaust fan in place here. Oh, damn. Where's the,
What are you looking for?
the cable to plug that in?
I have no idea what you're looking for.
Look. One of these. Did we steal it for the black bag?
I think we did.
Can I have it?
Yeah. I need more of those.
36 watching with 19 likes. Thank you to everybody who's pressed the like button. By the way, we're at 243 of 450 for the 360 cam. We're over halfway there. Thank you again to everybody who's contributed via Super Chat. You guys are awesome. Okay, just gonna open the door. Oh yeah, it was raining out. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Solder cam. solder cam. For those of you whose first time it might be with solder cam, don't forget you can keep your eye in this top left corner over here, especially if you're watching in full 4K. Keep your eye on that top left corner. So that you don't get seasick. Alright, just doing these first 4 switches. So cool, that's it for the first iteration of solder cam. Just gonna throw a little bit of solder on here real quick. All right. Now it is simply a matter of pushing these in place. $31 watching with 19 likes. If you haven't already gone ahead and smashed that like button, please do so now. Sure you guys are all getting ready for the game. As are we. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 5:09 p.m.
5:09, so I've got 50 minutes to complete this. Got a good feeling. Got a good feeling. Who y'all cheering for? Go ahead and let me know in the chat who you're cheering for. Alex Shore says, I have to go, though, because I have to write an essay. All right, man. You better get going now, because God knows when the game's on, you're not going to be writing your essay. GeoStrebber says, which game? Is there something unusual happening today? The Super Bowl is on today in a game featuring a quarterback who's won, like, I don't know, 5 other Super Bowls or something, against the city of brotherly love. Just closing my door here. Paolo says neither team. I'm hoping they both lose. Let's be honest. Most of us just watch for the ads. This time last year, Steph and I were both actually at the game. We saw Super Bowl 51 in Houston. And you can check out my video vlog of that on the channel. I didn't list it below, but it is out there. Do a couple video vlogs, the occasional one. There'll be some more coming, especially as I begin to dismantle this space. If you guys were here last week, I did a video tour of my YouTubing space so you guys could see exactly what was involved. Unfortunately, even though I wanted to turn on camera 2 for today's live stream, it wasn't working, so that'll be something that I have to clean up as soon as this stream is over. Go Birds. Yeah, of course, Nice and Creamy is himself from Philadelphia. Born and raised, played b-ball outside of the school most of his days. Yoris Boers is in the house. What's going on, Yoris? It's been a long time, man. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Sorry, just pushing some of the switches down so the PCB was a little closer up. If I install the black aluminum on this, how much do you think the board would get raised up by? Well, I've got the black aluminum feet right here, and I do intend to put them on. They are almost ½ an inch in height, so they would raise the back of the board by about ½ an inch. It puts it on a pretty nice incline. No complaints from me about the pitch of the thing. Panzer Bjorn, hey, I have a question. I know JB ruined some clickies with lube, but wouldn't it be great to lube at least the springs or maybe the sides of the stems that don't touch the leaf? Okay, so there are two types of lube. Let's talk this through here. There's two types of lubes. There's thin and there's thick. If you use thick lube, then thick lube slows down the travel of the switch. You see what I'm saying? It like gums it up. It lubricates in such a way as to reduce things like rattle, and lets things flow more smoothly. Because of that, because it flows more smoothly, a thick lube would actually remove the snap, because things will move so smoothly that the snap will be gone. Now, the other end, there's very viscous or very watery type lubes. Now, those lubes, like sewing machine oil, they require extremely fast moving parts in order to lubricate. If the part isn't moving extremely fast, then what happens is the lubricant pools down at the bottom of the thing that's being lubricated. Essentially, it just like rolls off of it. You can't keep thin lube on things, is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so let's say I took these green switches and tried to lubricate them. If I use thick lube, it's going to gum it up and remove the click. If I use thin lube, it's just going to slide right off of the switch and end up pooled at the bottom. So what is the right way to lubricate a clicky switch? To be honest, it's to not lubricate it. And the same way this occurs because of the friction between my thumb and finger. That you didn't see me then, but by wetting that's not wet enough. If I were to really wet my thumb and finger, it wouldn't snap because there would be no friction built up, no tension built for the click. It's the same thing. What I'm saying is, in order to get good click, don't lube. Now, there's a lot of debate about whether Gateron blues or cherry blues are better, and one of my friends, Dale, who's really into clicky switches, realizes that Gateron blues are smoother, but actually prefers cherry blues because the click is a little more pronounced because of that exactly. Because they're a little bit scratchy, the click is actually, the feedback of it is actually a little bit stronger. That's why Dale, God love him, that's why Dale prefers cherry blues to Gateron blues. Now, the only thing on a keyboard that I like to lube is actually the stabilizers. I don't like lubing other things. GeoStrubber says that's probably not correct for box switches with click bars, is it? To be honest, I don't know how the box switches work. We've had some dealings with Kale, fairly limited. I don't have any box switches that I have that I could open to check on, so I can't actually answer that, unfortunately. I totally get what you meant about thick lube. I personally thought Crytox 103 is not thick enough. I recently lubed Gateron Browns with Crytox 1514, which is slightly thicker than 103. And lubing Browns would be different than lubing a clicky switch. Lubing Browns means you'd get a smoother bump and a rounder feel and all those things. And I mean, I've done it. I've lubed lots of different switches, including just plain old Gateron Reds. But my preference is to buy a high quality switch that doesn't need lubing. Those are not clicky though, but I still lubed the tactiles. You might like those Aliaz switches. The Aliaz switches are I've forgotten what I was saying then. They are a brown silent switch. Just because I've built so many of these, I happen to know that this goes left, 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 right, right, right for my keyboard configuration. But if you didn't know that, what you should do is you should put your keycaps on here to insert this bottom row. It goes left, 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 And then the space bar is on the left. And then it goes right. Right. This is the standard bottom row. That's what I'm going for here. Have you seen my Logitech G710 plus Zelio mod on Desk Authority? Geostrebber, I have not. That sounds pretty cool though. Geostrebber just admitted that he is a Desk Authority user, which automatically qualifies him for being a mod. Alright, just going to check that all of these switches are pushed through all the way. Oh no, 0 did not happen. 0 did not happen. Zero got crushed. This happens all the time, guys. MX clear like feel. Trust me, having tried them, they feel nothing like Cherry MX clears. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 5:23 p.m.
5:23, which means I've got 40 minutes to complete this board. Just under. Do you know what I didn't do? Do you know what I didn't do? I didn't test this board. I mean, it's a Gone board, and Gone tests all of his boards before he ships. But it would have made sense. Let's just go into the chat window here. Yeah, BBB, CCC, and then I press enter. The guys in the chat will see that now. Geostrebber, what you've just described there by saying that you took an off-the-shelf Logitech and put Zelios in it is what I call a sleeper. I'm a big fan of sleeper boards. I think they're some of the coolest boards out there. I had a sleeper board that I used every day until recently. It was meant to look like a standard Poker 2, but it wasn't a Poker 2 at all. It was a fully programmable 65 gram Zelio switch with a custom bottom. It was super dope. It was super dope. Okay, the fan is still blowing. I'm gonna open the door. Okay, guys, if you haven't smashed the like button already, now is a great time to do it. We're at 25 likes with 40 watching, and we're just about to turn on the solder cam. Solder cam is on. For those of you who are new to solder cam, keep your eye in the top left corner because this thing is going to be moving around. Nice and creamy. The KBD fans for Alias says feeling similar to MX Clear, but nobody seems to care about that. Super misleading. I Creamy, I hear you. I feel you. I don't know what to say about it myself. I think a lot of people probably invested a lot of money and they don't want to say anything disparaging simply because of that. But I completely agree. I think it was totally misleading. Again, here we go. Steffi, the Switch is a brown, a very expensive brown with a clear housing and its silence. 25 likes with 40 watching. Remember, keep your eye in this top left corner as things get a little bit crazy. Oh, that's not on yet. It's not up to temperature yet. Just getting that there. Okay, guys. It's nice and creamy. It's a silent brown. Yeah, it's a silent brown. $29 likes, 3 dislikes. Ooh, 3 dislikes. Probably people who bought those LES switches. Keep those likes coming, guys. Keep those likes a coming. I'm right now in the center of Manhattan, so with my door open, expect some noise coming soon. There always is some noise, some sirens or whatever. Don't you worry. Steph is behind me. She's making tonight's Super Bowl dinner, which, to be honest, I don't know much about, but what I can tell you is that I ate hot wings for lunch. We have so much stuff for Super Bowl tonight. I ate 7-layer dip yesterday. That's how crazy things are. Man, it is raining here in New York City. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 5:31 p.m.
5:31, which gives me 29 minutes to finish this up. Feeling good. Feeling good. If you haven't already pressed that like button, please go ahead and press it now. The more likes this show gets, the more people get to come and join, the better it is. Unfortunately, I can't, while I'm doing the soldering, can't keep much of a good track on the chat. But what I can tell you is this chat has a lot of mods because these are community members who've been around for a while, who know what's going on with keyboards, and who can answer a lot of your questions. So don't forget, you can ask them anything, any questions that you have, any concerns that you have about building your first keyboard or anything like that. Yeah, it is really raining now.
All of this is snow in Chicago, by the way.
Oh, is it? Flying to Chicago tomorrow. You're currently watching Solder Cam, and don't forget Solder Cam is available in full 4K, so you guys can crank up your resolution. Make sure to take advantage of those brand new monitors that you got. Right now, you're looking via a Logitech Brio that's attached to the top of a soldering iron. A Hako FX888D, links to which everything you can see on my desk and everything I'm building today you can find in the About section below. Does anybody here subscribe to Make Magazine? One Up Keyboards is actually featured in the February-March edition of Make Magazine. So if you get a copy of that, you'll be able to find a little feature on us. It's pretty cool. I should be able to go faster than this. Steph, I haven't been able to look up at the chat at all. Can you just come take a quick peek at it? See if anything. See if there's any super chats or anything I'm supposed to call out. They're just talking amongst themselves.
I'm talking about your camera and the hacker. Somebody new saying, hi there, I'm new to Mac keyboards and I like to build my own. I know the feeling of building something with your own hands, but the prices of all the parts, ouch.
Yeah, I would start simple. Go look at the macro pads at oneupkeyboards.com. The macro pad, the Sweet 16 macro pad should give you a good starter into the keyboard world at a price that won't hurt your wallet. That way you can test out some different stuff. Make sure that you're happy with your technique. You can learn a little bit about QMK or use one of the easier programs to get involved. That's why we built the Sweet 16 to lower that barrier to entry. So please do check that out.
Yeah, I thought buying all the parts and assembling would be cheaper, just like when you build your own PC.
Well, when you build your own PC, you can't build that cheaper than you can buy an HP. Trust me, I've got an HP under my desk right now.
Oh yeah, I think it wouldn't be cheaper. I think is the.
Oh yeah.
It won't be cheaper than getting a brand board like Corsair. Yeah, somebody's replying. Coolmasters and yeah. And then they're still talking about the Hako instead of the Halo.
Halo or switches, Hako is a.
Yeah. I know, but
Oh, look! I missed that home switch.
At skiwithpete, well, can you show off these battery contact points on this PCB?
Sure, I can show them off, as in give you a close-up of them, but I don't use them in this build to turn this into a Bluetooth wireless keyboard. We have the parts at One Up Keyboards in order to do that, but we haven't yet adopted our shells in order to be able to take that. Partly because the Bluetooth modules. Oh. Partly because the Bluetooth modules don't work with Mac OS. Now, I don't know if you guys have the same problem that I do, but when I concentrate real hard, I don't blink. And I just caught myself not blinking for a really long amount of time. There's the lithium polymer LiPol bat with PCM only. That's the lithium polymer battery. You see here, you would disconnect this thing. You'd remove this to put that piece in place. But of course, that's not part of today's build. There's also some extra pins for extra fun stuff. Like if you want to do RGB along the bottom here, those pins are there. This is where you get, like you can see, BT status indicator charge. This is where you put that switch to turn it on and off. Okay, I'm just going to give the soldering iron a quick rub here because it's starting to get pretty black. So keep your eyes on that top left corner. Can you read me some more messages, Steph? Gotta remember to keep blinking. Anything exciting?
Incubate says, now that you pointed it out, I see it. I'm on 144 hertz. And then, is it meant to just attach LiPo battery terminals to it?
Yeah.
Um,
The Bluetooth connector is a different, it's a different add-on. And again, we have those by special request if you want to start modding this stuff. But it's not a default thing that we sell.
Incubate comments, man, the pads on the Gone boards are so nice.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about any PCB that costs more than $25, and then, then they complain when the pads lift or the boards suck. The keyboard community is a weird community. They don't want to pay for stuff, and then when you see quality stuff, you know why it costs more. I don't know what to say.
James asks, what are your thoughts on the Gone Nerd sticker bond TKL?
Well, I made it, so I think it's amazing.
Slightly biased.
Yeah, just in case you don't know, I'm skiwithpete. I'm the owner of 1UP Keyboards. So I am extremely biased towards all things 1UP Keyboards.
Skiwithpete, you want the link for the G10 Plus sleeper build question mark?
Of course I want that, but why don't you hold on to it just for another minute until I'm done all the soldering here so that I can actually properly take a look at it. As soon as I'm done this, can you just flash it on screen and I'll remember to do it. You guys can't see my eyes right now, but they're burning and they are red and they are filled with tears. Blink, blink, blink. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 5:45 p.m.
5:45 p.m. I don't know, man. Now it's getting close. We're getting to the wire here. Yeah, it's pretty cold in here.
We're also wearing shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah, but I am from Canada, so. You coming back to read some more?
No, I'm packing orders.
Okay. Thank you. Steph, can you come look at this board and just tell me if I missed any switches?
Ken can't see anymore.
Yeah, I know, because I'm moving down the end here, but as I move down the end, I'm worried that I've missed some. So I've been trying to rush a little bit.
Nope, smelling it.
And then I missed one. Isn't that funny? You actually caused me to miss one.
You caught it at least.
Now, just before that's the martini. That's the last one. Just a quick glance over here, make sure I haven't missed anything. No, everything looks like it's been done here. Fix Eve. What's going on? All right. All right. Next thing to do, just before I do anything else, actually, I just want to show off. Again, this is going to be one of the last ever streams at this location. With 31 watching, I just want to remind you guys of the amazing thing that is this setup. We've got the 4K action cam over here. We've got 4K overhead up there. This is selfie chat. This is selfie cam. That, of course, was the solder cam. Just a few more days to go in this setup, and then we're going to find something else to do. Oh, I tell you what. My eyes are stinging. All right. Got to go to keyboard tester. There's keyboard tester. And I'm just going to go ahead and smash this in here. Good news, we got the escape key working. Oh yeah, GeoStrubber says, do this one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That is a proper sleeper. Nicely done, GeoStrubber. How can I get... There's that. Alright, here we go. This is always weird over here. Yeah. Okay, this one and this one, check first. Then this one, yeah. Then this one and this one, yeah. And then this one does that. I know it does. And this one is the function key, which I'm not going to make work. And that's the menu key. Those aren't going to work. But we have, oh no, wait a sec. We have a fully working keyboard here, guys. Nice. Okay, just going to close this up. Again, that's a really nice sleeper board, dude. G710. No super chats yet. No super chats yet. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 5:53 p.m.
Whoa, shine a light. 5:53 p.m. Let's see if we can get there. Okay. So this is on that side, so this is on that side. And I put this sticker on the bottom. Just the way I like it. All right. And then always loosen those, just tighten those just a little bit, because I prefer to tighten them from the other side than spin them around on the back side of this board here. Yeah, I'm going to admit I'm a big fan of the 67 gram Zelios as well. These boards are, of course, compatible with both the Gons feet and these generic feet. little bit of residue there. Getting real close now. Okay, what's next? Yeah, we don't have any ISO DE keycaps. Not yet. We're working on it. Been working on it for a while, if I'm honest. They're just tough to source. This is pretty simple. All I'm doing now is just pushing these screws right through from the bottom all the way through to the top. Stephanie, can I ask a favor? Can I get you to clean my glasses for me, please, love? Yeah, I know. Sorry, I don't know what it is, whether it's my tears from the inside that hit it or the spit from the soldering, but they're all covered in stuff. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6 p.m.
It's 6 p.m. Okay, it's 6 p.m. I gotta go. Yes, please.
Is that what you said?
What's that?
NBC?
Yeah.
Alexa, turn on NBC.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on NBC.
Is that the scissors?
Okay.
What did you Google? There's gonna be none of it today.
These are side printed PBT keycaps from One Up Keyboards. So they look like they're blank from the top, but actually they got wordage on the side.
There we go. Much more effort than it should have. YouTube TV, live TV, made easy kickoff show. Really? I'm supposed to be watching this? Here,
Mm-hmm.
I need to watch this.
I'll see what I can do, GeoStribber. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn on the sounds of the game. So I'm going to put you guys on mute. I'm going to end it here. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you again to everybody who tuned in. Don't forget to press like. Don't forget to press subscribe. And we will see you guys back again very soon indeed. Okay, guys, I just wanted to do a quick typing test before I go here. Just going to turn this fan off so you can hear it nice and clean. Nice and clean here. This is the One-Up Keyboards black carbon fiber with Gateron greens. This is for Harry's build. One-Up Keyboards, black carbon fiber TKL, fully programmable keyboard. Thank you again to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to my mods, especially for hanging out today. Don't forget, you can ask them any questions. Check in the About section below for links to everything you can see on my desk, including the soldering iron, the cameras, all the goodness that is on here. You can check in the About section below. Also in the About section below, go all the way to the bottom and go find the Discord link that we can hang out after the show and talk to people about keyboards. Thank you again to everybody who tuned in. Thank you. We'll see you guys back again soon. Hopefully in the new location. Hopefully this is the last time from this location ever, but we'll see you guys again soon. Thank you again.